gained a little bit of power at the top end. We went from 97 brake horsepower at the back wheel to 101. At wide open throttle there's two flat spots. One's at about 6,000 RPM and one's at 7.5. We totally ironed those out. The bike should feel a lot better now, putting its power down. And in the workshop today we've actually got 4 Ducati Multistradas. Just thought we'd show you through them. Our current Pikes Peak, it's our own development bike. We've used it for development of the standard software and for the development of the Decat link pipe. So that's our Decat link pipe. We've gone from 153 on this particular Multistrada to 163 brake horsepower at the back wheel. So in 2015 these got the 1200 DVT engine. It smoothed out the whole power delivery, made the bottom end a lot better and didn't compromise on the power you're making at the top end. The 1200 DVT on our dyno made 140 brake horsepower at the back wheel. This particular bike did have an Acra system fitted, so it wouldn't be a little bit higher than a stock bike. The stock 1260 DVTs make anywhere between 137 and 138 brake horsepower up to about 140 brake horsepower at the back wheel on our dyno. Very little difference in the power at the top end. It's just that the 1260, which is the red plot, gives you a little bit more power, irons out the flat spot between 5,000 and 7,000 RPM. So the bike came to us and at the back wheel it was making 141 brake horsepower and exactly 100 Newton meters of torque. After the remap we've got the bike up to 150, which is a really good gain of 9 brake horsepower, and we've gained 6 Newton meters across the rev range. At 100% throttle we've gone up from 193 brake horsepower to 202. It's a significant amount of power increase, 9 brake horsepower at the back wheel, you're going to notice that. Above 8,000 RPM with the Decat, the bike just carries on producing more power. This is a plot that shows the stock bike versus the bike with the Decat and our map on it. We've gained a full 19 brake horsepower. We've made another 10 horsepower on top of the map bike. The bike makes a standard 78 brake horsepower at the back wheel. After the remap we've made a really good gain and we're up at 85 brake horsepower. As far as the torque's concerned, we've gone up from 64 Newton meters up to 66, so there's a small gain of torque throughout the rev range. That's at peak output, Lower down and further up, the gains and the separation in the graphs are a little bit bigger. At 6,000 RPM, we've gone from 60 foot-pounds to 64. The bike's gone up from 189, because obviously it's already decatted, to 195. The fueling we've got pretty much spot on. Well, it's exactly spot on, it's exactly how we wanted it. As you can see from the plots here, it still runs very, very lean. At partial throttle, it's even leaner. We're mostly staying at about stoichiometrically correct ratio of 1 lambda. The bike's making 99 brake horsepower at the back wheel. Before the map, after the map, we've got a decent separation, and we've gained 3 brake horsepower, taking it to 102 brake horsepower at the back wheel. A little bit more important than that though is if you look at the plot, the blue line, which is the standard plot, at 4,000 and 5,000 RPM, we've got 2 fairly pronounced flat spots. After the remap, those have been totally smoothed out. We've gained, at about 5,000 RPM, we've gained about 5 brake horsepower. That should translate into a much smoother power delivery, certainly at the bottom end below 6,000 RPM. The bike should ride a lot better. The throttle response is greatly improved now on the bike. And we ended up with 109.85, pretty much 110 brake horsepower at the back wheel. So you've got a gain there of 67 brake horsepower. So torque at full throttle, we start off with 65. You got 65 at just over 3,000 RPM, and then it just tailed off really. With the unrestricted bike, we're at 91. And with the bike that's tuned in, we're actually at 95, just short of Newton meters of torque at the back wheel.